Okay, let's get this show on the road, I guess. December 26th, 1980. December 26th. Today is the last Friday of the year. Didn't sleep very well at all last night. I got up early in the morning. I head straight to the bathroom and take a refreshing cold shower. That goes a little way towards clearing my head. After the shock of what the guy told me last night, I managed to calm down a bit. I leave the bathroom and take the towel I'd hung on my shoulder to dry my wet hair. I squat down in front of my speakers and take a record off the shelf. I mount the record on the turntable, and when I switch a player on, the record starts to spin. Place the needle carefully on the top. The gentle, solemn sounds of a saxophone start drifting from the speakers. I move myself over to the bed, sit on the edge, and listen to the melody. That solemn sound that only a saxophone can deliver. For some reason it makes my mind spring back to the words Will uttered to me last night. Ah, fuck. Thanks. Well, you just missed a picture of a record player. All I'm after now is the truth behind what happened 25 years ago. Then it dawns on me. The only one who can truly uncover all that happened is me. At that precise moment, I noticed that the turntable has come to a halt. The melody that had kept me in trance has ended. I throw on some clothes. I get through two cups of black coffee as I lounge on the sofa. I suppose I better let Rachel in on what happened last night. I finish mulling things over and haul myself off the sofa. Or not. Mr. Hyde, can we talk? Huh? That sounds like Dylan. What the hell does he want with me now? I was so sure that was Dylan, and I'm glad that I wasn't wrong. Dylan. Good morning. What do you want? Well, I've been so anxious to hear the next installment from last night. The next installment? Start making some sense or get out of here. You know, after you met with me in front of room 306, what happened next? You met up with Mr. White, didn't you? Yeah, that's right. So, are you going to tell me what you were so keen to talk to him about? No, it's got nothing to do with you. But I really want to know. Come on, you can tell me. Listen, Dylan. Why the hell are you so keen to know anyway? Well, that's simple. I'm curious. Curious? Yeah, right. Huh? Spit it out, Dylan. You were inside room 306, right? What are you trying to say, Mr. Hyde? I was only in there because of the maintenance Mr. White asked me to take care of. I thought I told you the reason yesterday. Did he really ask you to take care of some maintenance, Dylan? Sure he did. Because he told me a different story and it didn't include any maintenance. I'm telling you, he asked me. Why would Mr. White say something different to you? You've got to believe me. I was only in there because of the maintenance. Huh? Here you are, Dylan. I've been looking for you. Mrs. Patrice? What can I do for you? Actually, it's about Mr. White in room 306. He has a favor to ask you. Mrs. Patrice. Oh, hello there, Mr. Hyde. Are you having a good morning? What does Mr. White want? He called me only a moment ago and asked. He's not coming back to this building, you see, so he asked if Dylan could remove his remaining things. Mrs. Patrice, does that mean he's officially vacated his room? Yes, it would seem so. He was due to move out next week, but he told me something urgent had suddenly arisen. That's why he called me to say. And he seemed quite keen to get the message to you, Dylan. I'd like you to clear out the remainder of Mr. White's things and the furniture. Also, please take care of any repairs and such that need doing. No problem. I better get started. Catch you later. Dylan hastily makes his exit. I'm sure there'll be plenty more to be done as we draw closer to next week. It's going to be far busier than usual around here, that's for sure. Have you finalized your moving arrangements yet, Mr. Hyde? Please feel free to let me know as soon as you have. Sure, I'll tell you once it's all been sorted. I appreciate that you're busy with numerous other things, but please be sure to let me know when what you're planning at your earliest convenience. I have to be sure everything has been accounted for before this place ceases to be. Don't sweat it, I'll let you know in good time. I've got some unfinished business to take care of first, though. Oh, such as what? I have to find something. Find something? Did you lose something during your stay here? Well, something I lost, alright, but it wasn't mine. But the fact remains, if it's gonna be found, I need to be the one to find it. Can you share with me what it is you're looking for? Listen, Mrs. Patrice, there's actually something I need to ask you about the thing I'm looking for. You need to ask me? Yes. Can you spare a few minutes? I'm not sure I want to, Mr. Hyde. You're acting very oddly indeed. What are you plotting? Don't worry, I've got no nasty surprises in store for you, just a couple of questions. But they're gonna be very nasty questions. It's pretty important to me, so I'd be grateful if you could spare me some time. There's no use hiding it, Mr. Hyde. I've already heard from Dylan. I know what you've been up to. What's Dylan been saying? He told me that you used to be a detective and that, although he doesn't know why, you've been snooping around on the 4th floor. He told you that, did he? Now listen to me, Mr. Hyde. I don't know what your purpose is or what you're looking for, and I have no intention of making you tell me. All I want is to leave this place quietly and peacefully. That's why I'm going to ask you nicely. I've been honest with you up until now, and I've answered all your questions. I think I've been more than helpful to you, but please refrain from asking me anything further. I have nothing more to say to you. Well, I'm gonna ask you some questions now. Whoops. It's just a notebook, Max. You've got plenty to say and don't dare to deny it. I'm telling you, I haven't. Even if you have nothing to say to me, trust me, I've got plenty to say to you. I've got questions to ask and things to tell you. Things to tell me? And what kinds of things might they be? So you're listening now? I have a message from a member of Kathy McGrath's family. I beg your pardon? But I'm sure you're not interested. That's right, I'm not. Okay, Mr. Hyde, I give in. I can spare some time to talk with you. I'll fill in with you, so just let me know when's good. Shall we say this afternoon at 4 in my room? It's a date. Okay, I'll expect you then. Alright. Phone. Hello. Hey, Rachel. Morning, sweetie. Good news. What is it? You'll see after you've heard this voice. I'll pass you over. Hi, it's Ed here. Ed. Why so surprised? It's just Rachel told me you wouldn't be out until the weekend. Yeah, well, that's what they told me at first. But I can't stand that damn place. Besides, I figured there's no way you and Rachel will last 5 minutes on your own, so I blew the doc's mind by making a miraculous recovery. Lucky for you, huh? Well, I'll tell you this for free. We're not so dumb that we can't take care of the place without you, you know. You don't have to first study ever how this place runs. If I left it to you two, I'd be out of business in no time. Especially with a lazy bum like you in charge. Anyway, it's all thanks to you, Hyde. I was so worried about how this place would work without me, I couldn't even die in peace. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're still in the land of the living, Ed. Not exactly the greeting I was expecting, but hey, it's good to hear your voice. Now is not the time to start getting all soft, okay? I'll search for that item coming along. I know who sent me the order sheet. Turns out he's been living here under a false name. He's the son of Kathy McGrath, who was murdered here 13 years ago. Related to the victim, huh? But that doesn't explain how he knew that you got up behind this, what you got up to behind the scenes. His name's Will McGrath. By day he pretends to be a salesman, but he's actually a lone thief. He claims he has contacts which can provide him with all sorts of information. He even knew about my dad. Impressive! What do you know about him? He said that Dad broke into Hotel Cape West 25 years ago, with the intention of stealing the Scarlet Star. He what? This is what he told me. The incident 13 years ago and the one 25 years ago, he said that they were both connected to Nile. But why did he send the order to you? He said he wanted to try and encourage me to take an interest in those incidents. He found it hard to believe that I wasn't looking into the truth behind Dad's death. Go on. Before he left, he gave me a clue to help me find the Scarlet Star. So where does that leave you now, Hyde? I'm gonna find out the truth behind what happened 25 years ago. To do that, I need to continue looking for the missing item. Once I find the Scarlet Star, I have to deliver it to complete the order. Then I'll claim a reward of the truth of 25 years ago. I see. Then do what you gotta do and keep searching. And don't stop until you've uncovered everything. That's the plan. I'm gonna pass you back to Rachel. Hello? Rachel, keep an eye on him and don't let him push himself too hard. I've got to concentrate on finding this item, so I'll leave that to you. Sure thing, Kyle. Before you go, I've got an update for you. You asked me to get a hold of the lost article written by Jack Green. Well, I managed to get it for you. What did it say? It's titled The Truth Behind Condor. It was meant to be an ongoing piece, but ended after the first part was published. At the end of the article, the following appears. There's a gigantic void behind the organized crime syndicate known as Condor. Condor has managed to evade justice, thwart police investigations, and successfully sell their stolen wares, but it seems unlikely that the group could have accomplished any of this with no outside assistance. There's no doubt in this writer's mind that an as yet undisclosed force has been operating in the shadows behind Condor. Without this force, Condor would not exist. Next part of this article will expose the identity of this shadowy force. And that's where the article stops. A force operating in the shadows behind Condor. I take it you've heard about the recent jewelry thefts, right? Yeah, there's even been some near here. A series of thefts seem to bear all the marks of those carried out by Condor. So they say. There's going to be a TV news special showcasing the recent ones at 11. I see. Anyway, that's all I can offer you for now. I'll be in touch if I find out more. Okay. A news show about the thefts resembling those of Condor. Sounds like the kind of thing I should watch. Wouldn't you know, it's already time. It's time for 5 News. Today we examine a recent spate of jewelry robberies occurring all over the city. The store owner has provided us with an interesting eyewitness account. Who is this mysterious woman that appears on the scene before every robbery? 5 News, as always, is hot on the heels of any lead. The day before the robbery occurred, a woman that I've never seen before entered the shop. I assumed she was just a customer, but she didn't seem interested in any items and just wandered around the shop looking around. I couldn't see her face due to the black hat and sunglasses she wore. Whoa, a black hat and sunglasses? There was one other distinguishing feature. She wore a ring. Yes, a diamond ring. It was very noticeable. The diamond was flanked on both sides by rubies. A diamond ring. It was unmistakable, but we thought she was one of our richer customers, so we paid it no heed. Here we have an artist's rendering of the mystery woman. The most obvious features are the wide brimming black hat and large sunglasses. She's also wearing a distinctive diamond ring. That woman. Woman in the cell? Not him. There are reports of this same woman appearing at the other robbed stores. Could this woman be the key to solving these cases? The LAPD are making her arrest their top priority. This is Robert Harrison for 5 News, signing off. The woman in the hat who appears before theft. I'm sure that's the same one that I passed just outside this building. That diamond ring too, there's something about it. Surely she couldn't be... Oh my god, is that... Marie? What the fuck? Alright. I hear the sound of a door closed from somewhere nearby. Huh? Which door? Is that... I can hear the sound of footsteps.
Kyle still has Marie's ring.
Yeah, it sounds like somebody's coming. Tony. Hey, Hyde, you're just in time. Time for what? Did you notice anybody come up here just now?
Betty returned it.
No, she gave it to us, didn't she? Or did she return it? I forget. Yeah, I don't know anymore. No, I didn't see anyone. Seriously? I could have sworn somebody did. It's pretty weird. Did you see somebody? Yeah, sure did. It was that woman.
Then Kyle told her to give it to her back.
Which one would that be, Tony? You know, that woman. The one who was hanging around by the door last week with that hat. Her. That's a better delivery. Anyway. That's who I saw coming here just now. You sure it was her you saw? Positive. Not that it matters now. I lost her. One thing's for sure though, she went up the stairs just ahead of me. You're sure you didn't see anything at all? Not a thing. She just disappeared. Anyway, I don't have time to waste in this. I better split. Maybe it's who I think it is after all. Right. Marie was in 206. Who's there? I hear Marie's voice ring out from inside her room. It's me, Kyle. Oh, Mr. Hyde. Open the door, we need to talk. Hold on, I'll be right there. Yes? What can I do for you? I've had something on my mind since we last spoke. How did your insurance claim go? My insurance claim? Yeah, I just really wanted to know. Been curious about Rex too. Has he been bothering at all lately? Are you worried about me, Mr. Hyde? Yeah, kind of. Well, in that case, you better come in then. I must thank you, Mr. Hyde. Thank you for caring enough to come and ask how I'm doing. Yeah, it just felt like the right thing to do. Didn't want to leave without knowing, you know. Quite a gentleman all of a sudden. Well, anyway, how's the moving preparation going? It's going well, so far so good. I'm thinking about throwing most of this stuff out. I see. Does that mean the insurance money has come in as planned? It has, yes. Actually, just this morning the company called to tell me that they'll pay out. It's a really big weight off my mind. So, Rex's investigation is closed? I don't know. I haven't heard anything regarding the results. But the insurance company has already said they'll be paying out, so I guess it's okay. So it would seem. Is something the matter, Mr. Hyde? It just strikes me as odd. What does? Well, if the insurance company is happy to pay you the money, then that must mean that Rex's investigation painted you in a positive light, which just seems strange to me. You think it's strange that they agreed to pay me? Yeah, kind of. He's under payroll and his services don't come cheap. Typically, cases that he looks into go badly for the people trying to claim. Really? I didn't know that. Listen, Marie, you wouldn't be hiding anything from me, would you? What are you implying, Mr. Hyde? I thought we agreed that I told you everything. I'm not so sure it really was everything, no. In particular, the part about the woman in the hat. What? Huh? Someone's at the door. Back in a moment. Ah! Rex. Well, if it isn't ex-Detective Hyde. What are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. You both know I don't need to answer your questions. I'm here to see Marie, not you. Me? What do you want with me? I'd like to know exactly what you did. This morning, the insurance company told me to cease my investigation into you. They what? And now I'd like to know why. I'm not leaving here until you tell me. What makes you think I know? Oh, you know all right, I'm sure of it. I want to know exactly how you managed to squirm your way out of this one. Maybe I should tell you what I think happened, and you don't want that. Now tell me exactly how you got the company to drop their investigation. I'm sure it'll provide some entertainment for Mr. Hyde here too. Marie? Mr. Hyde, Hey, where are you going? Marie makes for the door and escapes. Marie! Hyde, I'm not so sure what brought you here today, but before you two start planning and vetting, there are a few things I might want to know first. You might want to know first. Well, this is interesting. Huh, that sounds like the elevator. Looks like it stopped at the roof. Roof time, and then time to get stuck on the way back. Or time for Marie to get stuck on the way back or something. While she's trying to run away. Or maybe she's killed herself, I don't even know. Roof. Where has Marie got to? Marie? Why did you run out like that? I was scared of him. Scared of him? Why? Because... What does he have on you? I don't know. Come on, Marie, tell me. I'm sorry, Mr. Hyde, I can't. I've been keeping something from you. What? I just can't bring myself to tell you. I just can't. Please, Mr. Hyde, just leave me alone. Alright, let's see here. Okay. Need to go back into her room and make her spill the beans. Evidence time. Second floor. I probably shouldn't just go right in, but I've got no choice if I'm going to get through to Marie. Wrong button. There's a built-in wash basin next to the refrigerator. Okay. What else? The cupboard doors are kind of busted up. What do I need to do? Go to the closet just below the bathroom and examine it. Closet. Closet. It looks like there's a box on top of the closet. Still high for me to reach, though. Okay, now to put this to good use. It's getting really fucking hot in my room again. Ah, what a bother. No. Now, I wonder what's inside. There we go. Interesting. These are the hat and sunglasses that woman was wearing. What's this envelope? There's no name written on the envelope, but the enclosed letter reads, "Come to the jewelry store at 1800 wearing the appointed attire. As long as you follow the instructions, your identity will be safe. There's no use trying to escape either. We're in control." So this is the kind of letter Marie was getting. Right, time to make Marie sing. Sometimes I wish there was quick travel in this game, but I kind of understand why there isn't, because a lot of things just happen while you walk around. So it would be weird if you could quick travel sometimes and other times you couldn't. Anyway, it's a thing. I wonder how much time would be reduced, like the playtime of this game would be reduced if you cut out all the time you're just walking. because it sure makes up a significant part. Huh? Of course, she's not here anymore. Where's Mary got to? She must be around here somewhere. There she is. There you are. Look, Mr. Hyde. It's okay, Marie, I know. What do you know? I know what you've been hiding. I know what you've done. The woman in the hat who always makes an appearance before the robberies, that's you, isn't it? What? Who put you up to it? Was it the same people who sent you two threatening letters? Mr. Hyde, you have no right to accuse me of anything. Besides, I have no idea what you're talking about. Listen, Marie, the game's up. As I told you, I know everything. Mr. Hyde? If you already ask me for proof, how's this? I found these inside your room. You what? They were hidden inside a box on top of your closet. Care to explain what you're doing with them? They're... I was just cosplaying. She looked so cool and I... I found this letter inside your room. Oh no. The letter contains... instructions for you to follow. How the hell did you get yourself into this mess? Oh yeah, we do have the ring, so... This is your ring, right? How did you get that, Mr. Hyde? Betty gave it to me to return to you. Now would be a good time to talk to me, Marie. Why would you sell something so valuable? And while we're on the subject, the woman in the hat and sunglasses who appears before the robberies, why does she wear a ring just like yours? I don't know. Or maybe you'd just like to tell me about the condor engraving on the base? That's... There's no use trying to hide it anymore, Marie. Come clean and tell me. Come, Mr. Hyde, not to you. Why not? Because there's no going back if I do. Not for me, anyway. You really don't want to hear what kind of a person I truly am. Do you remember what you said to me, Marie? What I said to you? Yeah, you said that when your brother died 13 years ago, people doubted your side of the story and it made your life miserable. You went on to say that you believed they would understand what you meant. You remember what I told you then? I said that if anything happened, no matter what, you could talk to me about it. Yes, I remember. How could I forget? And I truly wish I could tell you. But please, Mr. Hyde, please stop asking me to talk. Why won't you listen to me when I say can't? I really can't tell you of all people. You can't know. Come on, Marie. If I don't reveal your secret, then sooner or later somebody else will. Perhaps. Marie, do you understand the gravity of your situation? You need to get out while you can. I appreciate that the people ordering you about are intimidating you, but... Of course I understand. That's precisely why I can't tell you anything. Marie? Oh boy, I saw this one coming. Suddenly Marie moves away from me and heads towards the roof's edge. Marie, what are you doing? If only I'd met you earlier, Hyde. If I'd been able to tell you everything I've been keeping to myself, maybe things would have turned out very differently. I really don't know what to do anymore. It's hopeless. Goodbye, Mr. Hyde. Marie. Get down from there. Keep back. I told you, stay away.
Do you have to blow into the DS again?
No. Oh, I have to do this trick again. I would have never fucking figured this one out. I had to do the old close and open up again. Marie. Looks like I seriously underestimated what an idiot you were. If you wanted my help, why didn't you just ask? How could I have done that? After all, I'm the only one who knows how terrifying those people can be. Marie. Who do you mean by those people? I mean, I knew what my brother and husband had done. I found the truth behind their deaths too. That's why I have to do what those people say. If you want an example of just how powerful they are, they're the ones who put an end to the insurance company's investigation. They're responsible for me receiving the insurance payout, Mr. Hyde. It was a kind of reward for doing what I was told. What had your brother and husband done? Well, as you know, they were both working at the hotel. But that was a cover for helping with the secret fencing operations that went on there. Fencing operations? Yes, they were selling stolen jewelry. The items to be sold were first brought into the hotel, then potential buyers would follow, and if interested, would pay for the goods in cash. Seems that Mike and Peter were willing to do anything if it made them money. And that included removing dead bodies and making evidence disappear. Even the ring that I got from Mike was one of the spoils from a successful job. Wow. I thought your husband and brother were killed in accidents. It's what the police believed. But of course they knew differently. Since my husband and brother had served their purpose, they were to be disposed of. When Mike died and I received an insurance payout, I married Peter. And when Peter's business failed and he died in an accident, all of it was orchestrated by them. That's what they told me. Do you know how I discovered the truth about Mike and Peter? It all started when I moved into these apartments. As I searched the things I brought with me, I found my husband's insurance policy. I decided to claim the money specified within, so I contacted the company. Very soon after I'd done so, the call started from the people in charge. I received phone calls and letters. Even people I'd never met before began to pay me visits. As time passed, I slowly began to piece together the truth. It had finally dawned on me what my husband and brother were involved in. It wasn't long before they decided I could be of use to them as well. So up until then, you really had no idea what your husband and brother had been up to? I didn't have a clue, but I knew something was going on when Mike came home after work one day. He had this horrible wound and his clothes were bloody. I asked him time and again to tell me how it happened, but he refused to explain. He looked up at me with a sad face and told me that he had a secret to bear. One that I couldn't know. He said that if I didn't promise to let it remain a secret, he'd have no choice but to leave. He never did tell me. He took that secret to his grave. When I married Peter, he made me make him the same promise. And just like Mike, he took it to the grave. Maybe not letting me know was their way of expressing their love for me. At least, that's what I wanted to believe after I was told the truth. The truth is difficult to take in, isn't it, Mr. Hyde? He told me that I had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, that it was my fate, that my life literally belonged to them. This is precisely the reason why I avoided making any friends here. At first, I even started to believe that the reason that man Rex was here was to spy on me at their request.
Marie, who could possibly have the reach to do all this? Who the hell are they?
Niall.
Did you say Niall?
Yes. At least that's the name they use when they refer to themselves.
I see. Of course, he's been listening in. Rex. So that's how it is, huh?
You were listening in on us?
Yep, every last word. Shocking stuff indeed. It's almost impossible to believe that Niall have got you under their control too.
You know about Niall?
If I didn't, you'd think I'd have bothered taking on your case. It's them I'm interested in, not you and your insurance policy. Rex, enough games. What are you really after? You could say I'm looking for the last piece of the puzzle. Forgive me, I've been somewhat inundated with puzzles lately. You'll have to be more specific.
Well, quit interrupting and I'll tell you.
It's a puzzle that he left behind and which I've been trying to solve all this time.
In fact, I've been piecing it together ever since he died 13 years ago.
Who the hell is he? Are you talking about Jack Green? The guy you used to work with? How do you know about him? Got my own sources. I also know about the piece he wrote in concerning Condor and its true identity.
So I guess you've pretty much worked it all out then, huh? You know that he was murdered and all.
Just as I suspected. So Jack Green was murdered after all.
That's right. Of course it was made to look like an accident, but he was murdered alright. So Hyde, have you pieced it together? Can you guess who's behind it all yet?
Sure I can. It was Niall.
Well, give the man a round of applause. Niall has been behind Condor all along. Make no mistake, it was Niall that got him in the end.
Jack Green was poised to expose the link between Niall and Condor, but Niall got wind of this and decided to silence him for good. That's what you're implying, right?
That's the outcome of this action, at least, yes. There's more, much more, that only he and I knew, a disturbing truth.
What do you mean by disturbing truth?
The crime syndicate known as Condor began operating in the LA area. Oh, must be as far back as 25, maybe 26 years ago now. The LAPD figured that Condor was behind all the robberies that have been happening, but due to a distinct lack of material evidence, we was never able to pin anything on them. They chose their targets and conducted their sales with such meticulous attention to detail that the crimes went virtually undetected by the police department. Condor always kept itself a few steps ahead, resulting in the LAPD coming out with the squad. You understand, right, what I'm getting at here?
Sure I do. You're suggesting there was an informant working from inside the LAPD.
That's what we figured. With nothing that would enable a case to be built against them, the robberies continued. That is, until 13 years ago, when they simply dropped off the face of the earth. By then, my friend, Jack Green was dead, and Hotel Cape West had closed down for good. After Jack died, I kept on after Condor, questioning and collecting information. But all that Jack had tried to uncover was buried and no longer news. I tried in vain to make the media listen to me, but the results were always the same. I wrote an article about Jack's death being the work of a criminal group, but of course, it was branded a work of fiction and my name was mud. I'd been driven out of my profession. But they underestimated my determination. I was about to roll over and play dead. I was going to let Jack's death be for nothing. I made it my mission to find and uncover the real crooks behind all the wrongdoing.
The real crooks?
Yeah, you didn't think Niall was operating by itself, did you? Make no mistake, if Niall continues to have the power and influence it does, it's only because there are so many people who use Niall to further their goals. Each and every one of them connected to Niall behind the scenes, yet hiding in plain sight, perverting the course of justice. Hyde, I haven't forgotten when you compared me to an annoying fly, you know?
But you're right, spent my life endlessly buzzing among filth. No matter how much people try to bat me away, I just won't give up. Well, I've got news for you. That's how I've been forced to live since Jack died. But even someone like me has values, things that drive them to keep going. In my case, there's one thing I've never let slip away. Oh yeah? And what might that be? Persistence, Hyde. I absolutely will not rest until I finally uncover the truth. I made a promise to Jack. I vowed that whenever the truth turned out to be, and however unbearable it was, I wouldn't look away, and make sure the entire world learned of it. I think it's about time you told me exactly why you've been investigating Maria, Rex. Well, both her brother Mike and late husband Peter were involved with Condor, and they both died in similar car accidents to Jack. There was no doubt in my mind that Maria was directly connected to Niall. I became obsessed with finding out why they seemingly let her go and disappeared. I was convinced that they must have been up to something behind the scenes. The thing that surprised me most, though, Hyde, was that somebody like you was living in this building. Jack had spent considerable time investigating your father. According to his research, the man whose body was found in the parking lot 25 years ago was in league with Condor, was bumped off because he knew the truth about Niall. What did you say? You think my dad was working for Condor? Jack seemed to think so, or at least that's what he wrote in his notebook. But like so many other things, there was no concrete proof to back up his theories. One undeniable fact was that when your father was killed, the elusive Scarlet Star diamond that Condor had stolen went missing, vanishing without a trace. The Scarlet Star. Hyde, Niall is resurrecting the Condor name using Marie. I'm sure there's some kind of ulterior motive behind it. Got nothing yet, but rest assured I'll get to the bottom of it if this kills me. Marie? Yes? We won't be seeing each other after today. I'll no longer be hanging around keeping tabs on you. I'll leave you with this piece of advice. Get yourself out of this town. Do it as soon as you can. I can't just leave. And even if I do you think Niall is just going to forget about me? Not without my help. What do you mean? Come on, how do you think I've stayed alive this long while looking into them? Even an annoying fly like me has a few survival tricks up his sleeves. If you want a fighting chance of getting away, be at Union Station at 6 tomorrow morning. I'll wait for 10 minutes. If you don't show by then, I'll be gone. Right. This is the last I'll be seeing of your ugly mug too, Hyde. I'll hold back the tears. What are you gonna do now? Like you need to ask. I'll find something to keep me occupied around here, trust me. Always the joker. I've tried, but it just can't work you out, man. After all, what would an annoying fly know anyway? See you around. Hey, Rex. What now? Got something for you. Ah, I see. So you did have it. I thought as much. You mean you noticed it was gone? Of course I did. What do you take me for? Anyway, I'm out of here. Rex gets into the elevator and leaves the roof. Well, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I need some time to think. You heard what you offered me though, alright? Besides, nobody knows what will happen from now. Maybe I've got a chance. You think you're gonna be alright by yourself? Mr. Hyde? Yeah? I'll be just fine. I'm a lot stronger than I look, you know? And one more thing, thanks for listening to me. I honestly thought I'd never be able to open up to anyone. That is until you came along. Goodbye, Mr. Hyde. Marie gets into the elevator and leaves the roof. Marie. And it's my pager again. What's this? Dylan? Hey.
Oh, Mr. Hyde.
What do you want?
Nothing much.
Well, it must be something or you wouldn't be hanging around outside my room.
Steady on, I'm not up to anything. I'm just taking care of some maintenance. I thought it would be a good time to check the second floor doors.
I see.
So anyway, Mr. Hyde, what was that all about just now with Rex? I saw, you know, he's a shifty character. Saw him head up to the roof in the elevator.
Yeah, what else did you see?
What did he want up there?
You know, stuff.
Do you know that he did what he did before he headed up to the roof? I do. He took a trip to room 206, Marie's place, that's what. Don't you think it's a little strange? In my opinion, they're into something together.
I got better things to do than listen to your crap, Dylan. I couldn't care less what Rex wanted up there on the roof.
Are you sure about that? I'm pretty sure you're actually quite interested.
Yeah, and when did you become a psychologist?
I'm sure because you were up there too until just now. I couldn't possibly believe you're not interested after seeing that.
Look, Dylan.
I just want to know. What happened up there?
Rex won't keep coming around here anymore. That's what he said right before you left.
Really?
You're right about me being up there too. He and I were putting the record straight. That's when he told me that he won't be showing his face around here again.
Does that mean he got what he came for?
I guess it does.
Wasn't he looking into the insurance policy Mary's late husband set up? That's right, isn't it? Did he prove that he was trying to get away with fraud?
No, he didn't. And you know why? Because she wasn't involved in any fraud to begin with.
Oh, okay then.
She'll get the money just like she deserves.
I see.
Dylan finishes talking and lurches off.
I really like Dylan, but he's so fucking... he's so nosy, it's unbelievable.
Right, the pager. Time to give Rachel a call.
Red Crown, how may I help you?
It's me, what's up?
Ed wants to speak to you.
Can't wait.
I'll hand you over.
Hi, it's me. I've got some news courtesy of an old friend of mine at the LAPD. It's about the possibility of Condor having made a return to the scene. Sources within the LAPD seem to think that this is a warning in response to mayoral candidate Hugh Speck's planned campaign against organized crime. Warning? Yeah, a blatant warning made by Nile. It's their way of saying that if the police choose to strike against them, they've got their own counter-strike ready to be deployed. Hang on, why would Nile use the resurrection of Condor as a retaliation against the LAPD? It doesn't add up. An old friend of mine on the force once let slip that with regards to Nile, there's something the LAPD aren't letting on, and it concerns Condor. Whatever it is, they certainly don't want it made public. Do you think there's any way you can get more information on that?
More? I suppose if there's any more to be had, it might be possible.
I've been unearthing some facts of my own too. You have you? Listen, Ed. There was a guy 13 years ago who thought he discovered a link between Nile and Condor. He went out dead, but a friend of his told me my dad may have been somehow involved.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Perhaps if I extend the net to include what Frank Raver was doing, we might get lucky.
It'd be helpful.
My voice is gonna fucking die.
Condor, Nile, and now the LAPD. 25 years ago, the Scarlet Star disappeared at the same time my dad died. What the hell is connecting all these things?
We're visitors, always visitors. Wizzy, wizzy, wuzzy. Oh, it's you. I have something I'd like to ask you, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, what is it? I just heard something from Dylan. He told me that you, Rex, and Marie from room 206 had a little gathering on the roof. Not long ago either. Was he right? What if we did? I don't see what it's got anything to do with you. I thought I made myself clear when we last spoke. You're supposed to keep your nose out of these things. I thought we reached an agreement that you would no longer interfere. I distinctly remember telling you to avoid contact with the people in that picture. Right, you did say something like that, but I don't remember us coming to any kind of agreement over what I'd do. Oh, you don't, do you? Don't let your desire for truth come between me and my investigation, Mr. Hyde. Look, I'm not out to get in your way, alright? It's not like I woke up and decided better chat with Rex and Marie on the roof. And what was your reason for talking to them? Sorry to be the one to break this to you, Frank, but we've got a similar agenda. We both need to find something out before leaving this dump. I beg your pardon? I just happened to have a few questions I needed to ask them, so went ahead and did it. Simple as that. You had questions for them? Would you care to tell me what you asked and why? Listen, Frank, you really want to know what we talked about up there? Naturally, that's why I'm asking. Well, as it happens, I have some questions for you first. You and Dylan seem very keen to find out what we talked about up there. Why is that? That's because... Also, I'd like you to know that I've been looking into you too, Frank. You have? Not only you either. I've done some research on Kathy McGrath's murder that happened here 13 years ago. And last but not least, I've been looking into the elusive Condor. So that's how it is. What, may I ask, have you found out? Pretty much everything you know. I seriously doubt that, Mr. Hyde. There's no way you've been able to obtain the same level of information as me. I think it's about time you stopped exaggerating. I'm aware of the fact you were a detective and you made your way here from Manhattan. But I was on the LAPD when the incident occurred and I've been investigating ever since. There's no way on earth that you could have more information than I am, Mr. Hyde. I can't read. That's right, you keep telling yourself that, old man. Actually, I know quite a lot about the incident and about your past to boot. Then let's see just what you think you know, shall we? Tell me what you know about me. I know that when you were in your 40s, you were singled out in an internal investigation. What? Back in the day, you were considered quite a detective, one of the best in fact, but with one problem. You were willing to go to any length to guarantee an arrest. Because of this, you were taken out of the position you loved so much. It seems you've done your research, Mr. Hyde, but I have to ask, how did you come across such detailed information? You don't need to worry about how I came across it, just that I know. Probably a good idea not to ask any more stupid questions, too. I'll ask whatever I please. So I take it you also know about the link between Condor and certain organization? I know Nas behind Condor. The last guy who tried to expose this connection wound up in the morgue. You've certainly done your homework. How did you make so much progress in your investigation, may I ask? Didn't I already tell you? You share a similar agenda. You both want to find something out before leaving here. We are set on finding out what happened in the incident 13 years ago, and I'm looking into another incident that happened here a long time ago. Really? And which incident might that be? One that happened 25 years ago. What? Frank. Why so surprised? Because I never expected you to say you were looking into the incident of 25 years ago. Mr. Hyde, tell me, what are you trying to discover about the incident 25 years ago? Trying to find something. To be precise, I want to find the Scarlet Star that went missing from Hotel Cape West. Did you say Scarlet Star? How the hell did you learn about the Scarlet Star, Mr. Hyde? Frank, you know about the Scarlet Star? Of course I do. If I'm not mistaken, it was kept secured in a safe at Hotel Cape West. It was well protected there, but by no means beyond what I know, it simply disappeared. Only the hotel manager, Michael McGrath, was likely to know what happened to it.
Michael McGrath?
Now, Mr. Hyde, please tell me how you came to know about the Scarlet Star.
I heard it firsthand from Michael McGrath's son.
Michael McGrath's son?
He was told about it by his father, Michael, prior to his death. He was the one that sent me after it in the first place.
So Michael McGrath is dead, am I right?
Yeah, he died of an illness 3 years ago. Before he died, he told his son, who was responsible for the death of his wife, Katie.
I see. It would appear that we have a lot to discuss, Mr. Hyde.
You're probably right.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hyde, but I'm going to have to stop there for now. Let's meet again later and continue this conversation.
Sure, probably for the best. Where shall we meet?
Shall we say Lucky's Cafe at 5?
That would work, I'll be there.
Until then, Mr. Hyde.
Alright. Fucking Christ.
Hello.
Who's that?
Oh, it's me, Mr. Hyde.
Marie, what do you want?
I'm scared, Mr. Hyde.
Why? What happened?
There's somebody outside my room. They've been there for a while now.
Somebody's outside your room?
I think they're trying to keep tabs on me. I'm so scared.
Sit tight, and whatever you do, do not leave your room. I'll be over right away.
Okay, hurry.
It's gonna be Dylan, isn't it? Motherfucker. He is snooping us.
When are we gonna get to talking with Mags?
Well, it's 3 o'clock. It's at 4 o'clock, but... That's... Yep. Hey.
Hi, Mr. Hyde.
What are you doing here?
Nothing much.
More maintenance, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Don't lie to me.
What?
Tell me what you're really doing hanging around here.
What I'm really doing? I don't understand.
Don't play dumb with me. You were desperate to find out what happened on the roof. And you went out of your way to speak to Frank, and now you're loitering in front of Marie's room. What are you after?
What are you trying to imply, Mr. Hyde? You're jumping to conclusions.
Dan looks annoyed as he moves away and heads up to the third floor. I don't trust him one bit. Neither, but I still like him.
Who's there?
It's me, Kyle.
Mr. Hyde?
Open the door, we need to talk.
Okay, just a moment.
Your mystery stalker's been unmasked. It was Dylan.
Dylan?
Yeah, I caught him hanging around out here just now.
Why would he be hanging around here?
He's been curious about the chat with me, you and Rex had. The chat you and Rex had up on the roof. Tried to get me to spill the beans earlier.
Why would he care what we talked about?
It turns out that he knew you even before coming here.
He did? How?
Apparently he was called to your old place to do some repair work in the pipes.
Funny, I can't remember him. Besides, we always use the same company to take care of any pipe trouble. I'm absolutely positive that he has never been to my old house.
Interesting. I knew he was up to something, but this is really suspicious. Marie, I need you to show me something. You remember the letter you received? I need to see it.
Of course.
Here. In before it's Dylan being fucking mastermind behind everything. So I guess Rex wasn't the sender of this letter after all. I can only mean.
Mr. Hyde, are you about to suggest that the person who sent me this was...
Yeah, I think I am. Do you mind if I keep hold of this for a while now?
No, not really, but what do you plan with it?
Never you mind. Don't worry though, it won't cause you any trouble. Marie, I'll be back. Don't let anyone into your room until I say so.
I suppose I'll just have to trust you then. Alright. Time to go and lay the beans on him. 304.
I'm gonna buzz just to let him know it's important.
Mr. Hyde, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of busy right now.
This won't take long, Dylan. I got something to show you.
What is it?
Not here, inside.
Inside?
Trust me, if anyone saw me showing you this, your life wouldn't be worth living.
I suppose you better come in then. Alright. Funny boy.
Was he packing something away?
What's with the cloth on the floor?
Looks like you're busy getting ready for the big move, huh?
Yeah.
Gonna lay down the law now.
Packing your stuff up, were you? Yes, that would explain why you're flustered. Were you planning on heading out somewhere later?
Yeah, you know, just going out.
I see.
That's why I can't really give you much of my time at the moment. What was it you wanted to show me?
This. Does it look familiar? In case you haven't noticed, it's a threatening letter that was sent to Marie.
Oh, is that what it is?
There's no more hiding, Dylan. I know exactly who you are.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't give me that bull. Tell me who you are.
Please, Mr. Hyde, don't shout at me like that.
And start talking. We can start with what you were really doing outside Marie's room.
Right.
Dylan, I know what you were doing. You were... keeping tabs on Marie.
What? I was just doing what I was told to do.
You knew Marie before you came here, or so you claim.
That's right, I did. I used to do the plumbing in her old house.
Something doesn't add up, Dylan. You've never been to her old house.
What?
She told me that whenever they had problems, they used the same service. So now we've established that you haven't been there. How do you really know her?
That's because I was given some information about her.
Dylan, who told you to watch Marie?
I can't tell you that.
Not that it matters, I already know the answer.
Yeah? What do you think you know?
I know who told you to watch her. It was Niall.
Niall?
That's it, isn't it, Dylan?
I don't believe it. How the hell did you manage to find out so much?
You wrote that threatening letter to Marie under the orders of Niall, which means you were likely placed here to watch over the tenants and sent the letters.
What can I say? My job was to stay here and watch over those women.
What kind of information did you receive?
That would be...
It was information you had to relay to her, wasn't it?
That's right. But do you know what kind of information it was?
Sure, it was about...
Right.
It was about her brother and husband working for Condor.
Right again. Marie was a relative of ex-Condor operatives. She didn't know this even after both of them had died. Condor may have disappeared 13 years ago, but it left behind some women who would come in handy for Niall. Condor proved to be a useful subject to Niall in more ways than one.
The women you were supposed to watch, which women would they be?
Do you really need to ask? I thought you'd have figured it out by now.
Tell me.
Well, it's Maria and that Patrice woman, of course. Patrice especially. I'm sure she's still hiding something in her room.
Max is hiding something in her room?
Yeah, there's no mistaking it if you've watched her like I have.
How did Niall hope to use Condor?
I thought that would have been obvious. I used him to liaise with the LAPD.
Liaise with the LAPD?
Sure, as you no doubt already know, not a single member of Condor was taken down. Why do you think that was? It was because of the corrupt element in the department working on the Condor cases. Well, Mr. Hyde, it looks like you finally managed to expose my true identity.
It looks that way.
When did you realize?
I knew there was something fishy about you as soon as we started having our little chats.
You figured me out in a single week, huh? Looking back, maybe I shouldn't have spoken to you so much. If I'd taken that approach, I might have been able to get to the end of my stay here without arousing any suspicion. Just continue to be the maintenance man, Dylan. Still, I guess there's no use crying over spilt milk. Come to think of it, maybe the timing was pretty good.
Hold it right there. What do you mean the timing was pretty good? What are you planning now?
I've just got one thing left to do. Let them know that Kyle Hyde is on to them and is likely to be an obstacle.
What did you say?
What's the matter? Scared of a big bite, Niall? You must have guessed that once you exposed me, you put yourself into the line of fire. Don't tell me you never considered it.
Sure I did. What do you think that's gonna put me off? I won't be intimidated by scum like you.
Well, I admire your nerve. With guts like that, you're wasted being a salesman.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
I got nerve, alright. Enough of it to shoot an ex-partner of mine who worked for Niall.
I may have quit the force, but there are certain things you can't shake off. Dylan, I don't get many opportunities to chat with criminal lowlifes like you anymore.
Hey, don't push it.
So I'd like to use this chance to ask you something. You're going to tell them that I've blown your cover and what's going to happen to you.
What are you trying to say?
You really think they're going to keep a guy around who can't even remain in disguise? Mark my words, based on the Niall I know, this isn't going to end well. At least not for you. You'll be the first to disappear.
What do you mean by that?
I'm pretty sure that once you've given them what they want, they'll figure there's no sense in keeping somebody whose cover been exposed. And then what do you think will happen to you? You can't exactly hand yourself over to the LAPD, can you? Not after what you told me just now. If Niall really does have a mole on the force, and you hand yourself in, you'd be digging your own grave.
Are you threatening me?
Not at all, just letting you know the facts. Then, when they've disposed of you, it won't be long before they take me out too.
It's not gonna be like that, I'm sure of it.
Come on, Dylan, wise up. What are you going to do?
I haven't got a clue. What can I do?
You've got yourself into a real fix.
Come on, answer me.
Maybe we can strike up some kind of deal. Here's what I'm thinking. Since my life's also in danger, perhaps if we agree to keep recent events to ourselves, we can both make a clean break. By the time Niall realizes the lack of contact means you've gone, they'll come looking, but you would have gained yourself a couple of days of head start.
A couple of days? That's not going to stop them. Where the hell can I run to? Not to mention, how can I be sure you'll keep quiet about me?
If you're stuck for somewhere to run, you call me tomorrow night. I know a way you can escape undetected. Whether you choose to believe me or not is totally your call, though. Dylan? Huh?
Dylan's right arm moves. Don't move. What you said sounds good, but I'm not so sure I'm the kind of guy who believes everything at face value.
It's decision time, Dylan. What's it going to be?
I'm going to have to think about all this. Stuff you said, that's something I can't decide upon lightly. After all, both our lives are in danger here.
You got that right.
So I figure, we've lived here under the same roof for a while now. Think we can reach some sort of agreement. Here's what I'll do. I'll wait until tomorrow night to give you my answer. Before then, neither I nor Niall will make any sort of move. I think we could both do with some rest tonight. Now just stand still and don't make a move until I'm out of here. You got that? Catch you later, Mr. Hyde.
Dylan gives me a sarcastic little smile as he leaves the room. Why did he fucking trash this place? I wanted to look at the cover sheet, but I guess that's nothing. Alright, better ask, let Marie know. 206.
Who's there?
It's me, Kyle.
Oh, Mr. Hyde.
Open the door.
Okay, just a moment.
Dylan was behind the threatening letter you received.
What?
He was also the person keeping tabs on your whereabouts.
So he's with Niall after all?
Yeah, he is. The good news is that after I exposed him, he left.
Really? He's gone?
Yeah. Let's just say I gave the guy a little scare and sent him packing. It should be enough to keep him away until you're safely out of town anyway.
Mr. Hyde?
Here's your letter back.
Mr. Hyde, I've made up my mind. I'm going to take the chance and leave.
I see.
Please don't worry about me. After all, I already told you I'm stronger than I look.
Marie,
you've helped me so much. After talking to you, I think I'm ready to make a run for it. No matter what lies ahead. Thank you for everything.
As soon as I leave here, lock the door and don't let anyone in. You got that? And when you leave tomorrow, don't tell a soul what you're doing.
Alright, finally time to talk with Mags. Oh my god.
"4 o'clock. I better make my way to see Mags." It's Kyle.
Oh, Mr. Hyde.
You said 4 o'clock, right? Care to open the door? I got something really important that we need to talk about.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hyde. I'm a little busy at the moment. Could we continue the chat from this morning another time?
Are you serious?
Now isn't a very good time. Please come back later.
Now what? Maybe I should just head back upstairs and try again later.
Mr. Hyde?
Great, now Frank wants me.
I've been looking for you.
I thought we were meeting later. What do you want?
You were in Dylan's room earlier, am I right?
Yeah.
He looked quite agitated when he left. May I ask what happened in there?
He's gone. He cut his losses and left.
He left?
As it turns out, he's on Niall's payroll. Once I managed to get that out of him, he fled.
It's all slotting into place. Looks like it's true about him being the person Niall sent here then. Seems my instincts haven't let me down after all.
Did you suspect Dylan?
In a manner of speaking.
Did you manage to uncover something about Dylan then?
Not directly, but I noticed how defensive he was.
So what put you onto him?
There was something strange about him, something he just couldn't hide. Kind of like a smell that can only be picked up by seasoned detectives like me.
Guess he set off your detective instincts.
Yes, you could say that. I noticed that his movements seemed deliberate, and they were done too much hers. Hers? Yes, Mrs. Patrice, of course. When you understand what kind of woman she is, as I do, you would appreciate that Dylan's movements are rather suspicious. That was the motivation behind me wanting to investigate where he was frequenting.
What kind of woman do you think Mrs. Patrice is?
Of course, I have my own information about her, but after hearing yours, I deduced that Mrs. Patrice is quite clearly the wife of a villain. Her late husband, George Patrice, was a close friend of Michael McGrath, the one-time owner of Hotel Cape West. He also just happened to be the prime suspect in the murder case of Kathy McGrath. You told me that you were able to have a conversation with Michael's son. I would think that he would have told you then that he had marked a certain individual as Kathy's murderer.
And that individual was George Patrice.
Precisely. This was the same conclusion that the first detective on the case came to.
So George Patrice was the number one suspect, huh?
That's what the detective in charge of the original case thought, at least. At the time of the victim's death, he was absent from the party and without an alibi. Conveniently for him, though, his wife, Margaret, provided him with an alibi later on.
Do you believe he was responsible for the murder?
I must admit I do.
I see.
Not only that, I also firmly believe that he knew the whereabouts of the missing Scarlet Star.
What?
And if Niall had been using Dylan to watch Mrs. Patrice, then there's no doubt.
Let me get this straight. Earlier you said there was only one person who knew where the Scarlet Star was, and that person was the hotel manager, Michael McGrath. Why then would you say that George Patrice knew?
I meant that McGrath was the only person working at the hotel who knew. But when we're talking about George Patrice, Condor's ringleader, well, I find it hard to believe he didn't know all there was to know. There's something more I have to say about the Scarlet Star, though.
Where was Dylan frequenting?
The fourth floor and the basement. Vacant rooms, too. He also tended to enter other tenants' rooms, insisting he was merely doing maintenance. I can tell you how many times I spotted him leaving room 306, for example. It goes without saying that he would enter Mrs. Patrice's room as well.
What do you think he was up to?
Monitoring and information gathering, all to find clues to locate the Scarlet Star.
He was looking for it? So Dylan knew about it too. And he let some underling know about the Scarlet Star? What else do you know?
I had intended to talk about that in the cafe.
Come on, you mentioned this much, I think you need to tell me everything.
You're very persuasive, Mr. Hyde. This is how I see it. Michael McGrath was in possession of the Scarlet Star. But when his wife was killed off, he naturally became frightened, and hid it in it where nobody else would be able to find it.
You mean like in a building that used to be a hotel?
Indeed. And I'm positive that he left some sort of means to locate it again later on. He must have figured that, at some point, somebody would try to obtain the Scarlet Star.
He thought that someone would come looking for it?
Yes, the same people that knew the truth behind its disappearance.
But who are those people?
Condor ringleaders George Patrice and his wife, Margaret. Mike Porter and Peter Yvette, too, naturally. Niall would have been aware as well.
Mike and Peter were part of Marie's family.
The only ones to survive until the present day are Mrs. Patrice and Niall.
Out of all the people who knew the truth behind how the Scarlet Star disappeared, only Mrs. Patrice and Niall are left. Hold on. Frank, there's one more person who knew about the disappearance of the Scarlet Star.
There is?
You. You know exactly how it came to be missing, don't you? If you won't come clean now, this conversation is over.
Fine, have it your way. The reason I've been looking into the events of this building's past is to restore a certain reputation.
Your own, of course. Whose reputation it's restoring?
Mine, of course.
Yours.
25 years ago, I was part of the investigation into Condor, Mr. Hyde. During this investigation, I learned something about Hotel Cape West. I found out that this was where Condor conducted their fencing of stolen jewelry. Soon after that, an internal investigation took place and I was removed from the case. I believe I was the victim of a
Wasn't he
conspiracy
the
perpetrated by a
informant in
certain person.
LAPD?
What did you say? Wasn't the informant in LAPD? Yes.
What kind of conspiracy?
It was a plot to remove the person poised to unveil the truth about Condor. Not only did he ruin my good name, but he also deepened his allegiance with Nile.
This person, the one who orchestrated the conspiracy. Are you talking about the mayoral candidate, Hugh Speck?
I am. He rants incessantly about crushing crime, which got him into the world of politics. But the truth is, it's all a front. He doesn't mean a word of it. I'll tell you now, my ultimate aim is to bring him and his corruption down.
So it was a cover-up.
Yeah, I suspected very early on that Hugh Speck was gonna be associated with Condor and Nile. Anyway, if I can do that, I have no doubt my reputation will be restored. Mr. Hyde, listen to me. I must sound like some doddering old fool. I was once just a plain and simple detective who wanted for nothing. When I was younger, I was bad-tempered and eager to prove myself. Even though I didn't conform with the norm, I did my job and fought for justice. Then that man in his damned internal investigation stripped me of everything. And all of a sudden I was just a cog in the machine, working behind a desk. But there was one thing they couldn't take away from me, and that was my pride. I quit my job and vowed to uncover the truth behind what happened.
Let me get this straight. Your reason for searching for dirt on Hugh Speck is to try and expose the link between Nile and the LAPD?
Exactly. I'm positive, Mr. Hyde, that the Scarlet Star lays hidden somewhere in this building. If I can only find it, I know it'll prove to be an invaluable piece of evidence. Michael McGrath definitely left some sort of clue behind before he died. Something that will enable me to finish what I've been trying to do all these years.
So you've been trying to find some sort of clue up on the 4th floor?
Yes, but all my efforts appear to have been in vain. I've not found a single thing. There's always a chance that somebody got it before me and moved it, though.
Moved it? That reminds me, didn't Dallin say something?
It's Maria and that Patrice woman, of course. Patrice especially. I'm sure she's still hiding something in her room. Yeah, there's no mistaking it, if you watch her like I have. Mr. Hyde?
Yeah?
What are you thinking about? Would I be wrong if I suspect that you know something? Perhaps something about the place Michael McGrath hid that clue?
Dream on. If I knew something about that, you'd think I'd still be gassing you?
Then forgive me. It's just that the look you had on your face made me think so. You must tell me if you know something.
Steady on, Grandad. That tone will get you nowhere. I told you I don't know anything.
You're lying, I know it.
Look, when I say I don't know, it means I don't know.
You can't trick me, Mr. Hyde. You know something and there's no denying it. Now tell me what it is.
Hey, keep bawling like that and you'll draw a crowd. Isn't that what you want? Or are you so agitated all of a sudden anyway?
I'm not agitated at all. I just need to be sure you weren't attempting to hide anything from me.
Trying to force it out of me, huh?
Well, Mr. Hyde, since we appear to have exhausted this line of conversation, I see no need to meet in a cafe after all. I assume you agree? Well then, I'll be going.
Frank moves away and heads up the stairs. Got to give it to the old guy. He sure wants to find that hiding place. Guess he won't give up until he found Michael McGrath's secret. Fuck.
Frank is using the same tactics Carl uses to get people to talk.
Somebody's coming down the stairs. Who is that?
Him again? What? Mr. Hyde, can you spare a moment?
What now? I thought we said all we needed to say to each other.
I wanted to apologize for how I acted just now. I didn't intend to make you angry. It's just like you said. I'm looking for some kind of evidence on Hugh Speck. And so that's why I need to find what Michael McGrath left behind. I was curious to see what we could turn up if we put our minds together.
Do you have any idea where it might be hidden?
Yes, I'm sure it's in one of two places. Either the 4th floor, in a place I haven't checked yet, or inside Mrs. Patrice's room.
In Max's room?
Yes, there's a very high likelihood that something is hidden in there.
I'm imagining that it's actually in like the little, what's it called? Pathe, like the entryway the entry room you have to walk through before you actually get to talk to her, like in her main room or something. There's this small tiny alleyway. Anyway, there's a very high likelihood that something is hidden in there. I was hoping you might have already discovered something on one of your visits there, but since it appears you haven't, come on, spit it out. What do you want to say? If you've got something you want to say, I'd rather you just said it. Very well, I will. Would you be willing to team up with me so we can search Mrs. Patrice's room? Seriously? You're the only one who I can talk to candidly regarding this. Let's say I agree. How are you proposing we go about searching her place? My plan is to ask her to meet me in the cafe where I'll keep her talking for an hour or so, during which time you can take a thorough look around her room. And this small matter of a key? Don't you worry about that. I'll see that she leaves the door unlocked. You can leave that side of the operation to me. Does Max know you've been looking into Gondor? I doubt it, Mr. Hyde. As far as I can tell, she suspects nothing. I'm sure you're just as eager to have a closer look around her room as I am, Mr. Hyde. Am I right? You might be. Then it's settled. I'll go and ask her to join me in the cafe. As soon as she left her room and come with me to the cafe, you should go inside. What are you looking for is... Yeah, I know, you want me to find something left behind by Michael McGrath. Precisely. Once you're done with your search, come to the cafe. You can discuss what you find after you arrive. Yeah, got it, loud and clear. Now we regroup there. He sure likes to boss people around, alright. Yeah, I like that they're very similar. I can hear voices. Yes, I understand. Let's go to the cafe. Sound of footsteps and the two voices trail off towards the cafe. Yep. I don't know how it did it, but the door's unlocked. Secret mission, rifle through Mac's room for clues, is now in effect. That's cute, huh, Kyle, that's real cute. Alright, let's have a look around here, because this is... A little wooden table with oddly shaped legs is set against the wall. The surface is quite damaged, but the texture of the wood is beautiful. Okay, nothing there. There's an oil painting on the wall that commands attention. Depicted on the canvas is a bottle overflowing with fruit. This thing looks pricey. Can't even click this. Alright. Well then, never mind. I guess I was wrong. It's another one of those wooden cabinets. It's been covered with a large frilly tablecloth. Among other things, there are a TV and some photo frames set on it. Right, I guess I can't look into it. I can't look at that. I'd say the huge fireplace is probably the centerpiece of this room. A vase of flowers adds a little more color to the mantelpiece. Okay, nothing interesting. Can I not look at that? What the fuck? On the table is a package addressed to Mags. I wonder why someone decided to send her a clock. Alright, check under the desk in the upper left of the room for a torn piece of paper. Can't actually get there or check it though, so do I need to go inside this room? Oh yeah, alright, I guess it's gonna be here. Her bedroom, I better search here too. Okay, time to search all the things. A bookcase that's showing its age. Through the glass doors I can see rows of books with discolored spines. I need to waste any more time looking at this. It's a fancy notepad. I can't see anything written on it. It's not photo. In this corner of the room is a wooden desk with a drawer. Something's on the floor under the table. What's this? Looks like a piece of paper. It's got something written on it, alright, but the lower part's missing. The beginning reads, "We know everything. Leave this apartment and its secrets immediately." Niall doesn't forget and still bears a grudge against the wife of George Patrice. This is part of a threatening letter. That reminds me, Max said something when she received the package. I have my reasons for jumping to such conclusions, especially with a threat like this. I thought it was somebody's idea of a joke at first and tore it up. But when I saw the lack of a sender on that package just now, the contents of this letter came back to me in a flash. This must be the missing piece of the letter she showed me from before. So the sender was Niall. This closet is pretty big. Max must have a lot of clothes. There's a red handbag at the bottom of the closet. Looks like it's seen a few wars. At the back I can see a big overnight bag. There's something covered in a white cloth, stuffed into a corner of a closet. What the hell is that? Maybe I should open it up and take a look. There's a nice looking ornamental wooden box inside. I wonder what's inside this thing. Music box. Wait, there's something stuck in the drum. Looks like a key. What's a key doing in here? Well, it has the Condor thing. Can I actually do anything with this? Oh, there's a gap. Right. The music stopped. What the hell am I supposed to do? Think, Hyde. Okay, hold on. Let's see what the guide says. Now prepare to solve the craziest puzzle in the game. Let the music box run and you'll notice there's a gap in the cylinder through which the key can fit. You'll also see that there's a long piece that extends into the non-touch screen part of the DS. That long piece is essentially the off switch for the music box and will stop the cylinder from moving and thusly stop the music from playing. Also note that there's some kind of lever next to that piece with an R beside it, or an L if you're using left-handed play. Those are your clues. Press the R button or L button if left-handed play. Those are, and Kyle will make a comment. The key will be pushed up a little bit, but the cylinder is blocking it. Turn up the volume on the DS to have a little easier time for the next part. Oh my god, alright. Here we go. I think I can move the key if I push this thing. What does this do? I don't understand. Like I see this lifts it up slightly, but... Okay, to remove the key, first swivel your DS so that it's longer in book style and you're holding it like you would for a regular game. Slowly flip the non-touch screen back down like you're closing the DS, but don't close it all the way. When it is almost closed, at a certain point you will hear a click and the music will stop. Keep your DS open just a little before that point to allow the music to play and the cylinder to turn. Keep your finger poised above the R or L button. Let the cylinder run until it's almost at the gap, then quickly stop the music. Press the R or L button. If you think you've lined up the gap with the key closely, lift the DS cover just a tad, and the glowing dot will appear at the top of the key where the condor symbol is. If the glowing dot doesn't appear, it means the key and cylinder aren't lined up properly. Repeat the above until you finally get the glowing dot. When you see that, keep your finger on the R or L button and open your DS fully. Tap the glowing dot, it may take a few taps, and the key will come out. Christ, alright. That is certainly a puzzle. I don't hear any click. No matter how close I make it. No! Drum's keeping it in there.
Yes, the developers wanted for people to give up at this point.
I don't hear any clicks. I just can't close it completely, but... Is this a thing that doesn't work on the 3DS? Or something? What the fuck? Oh my god. Yeah. I don't get this at all. Like, I don't hear any clicks. Nothing. The music doesn't stop. Oh, now it works. Huh? That was weird. I'm not sure. But, alright, sure. Whatever. Got it. Never would have figured that out in a million fucking years. What could this key be for? The key has a condor mark on it. You take the condor key. Alright. Okay, now we need to examine everything else. There are 3 pillows on the bed. The pillowcases smell brand new, or maybe Max just washed them. Max's quilt cover is bright red. Quilt cover. There's a lamp on the chest of the drawers next to the bed. There's a chest of drawers next to the bed. A pair of leather gloves with an understated hue. It's a neatly folded pile of washcloths with a check pattern on them. Definitely worth investigating. Is that sarcasm, dude? Kyle, my man, are you sarcastic? Are you being snooty with me, Kylie boy? Her dresser looks like one of those a refined lady might use. Nail polish and lipstick are just some of the thrilling items found in this box. Max sure has a lot of makeup. Well, she used to be a lady. A necklace, a mirror, and various other small accessories are laying in a jumble. Makeup box covered in slightly cracked leather. Looks like it's empty. Whoops, sorry about that. There's an inkwell on the desk. I'd say about half of the ink has been used up. It's a black telephone. I have the same type of phone in my room. There's a ceramic vase on the top. Some of the flowers are pink and some are yellow. I think they're tulips. Well, despite what Frank seems to think, I can't find anything from Michael here. All I've got to show for my search is part of a letter and a key with a condor mark. Maybe the key will lead to some sort of clue. Almost time to meet Frank. I better make tracks before Max comes back. What, do you want to avoid tracks? I'm confused. Anyway. Okay. Huh? Max. Damn, if she saw me coming out of her room, my ass would have been grass. Mr. Hyde, I apologize for before. Don't worry about it. Maybe we can chat again sometime later. As long as that's okay with you. No problem. Okay, good. Now I must be going. I hope that she doesn't discover her music box is no longer covered in cloth. Ah, Mr. Hyde. How did it go? I managed to have a pretty good look around while he kept her busy. Problem is, I didn't find anything left behind by Michael in there. I see. It wasn't a total waste of time though. I found this. What have you got? It's a key with a condor mark on it. The
key with the condor mark? Give it here, Mr. Hyde. And you should avoid trying to go any further in this investigation.
What? Not this again. Why should I stop? Who gave you the right to order me around?
I beg your pardon?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I've got plenty of things I still want to investigate. I have a feeling that key's gonna open more than simply a door. If I'm lucky, it might even reveal some of the secrets around here.
Are you trying to say that you intend to return to the 4th floor to search?
Damn right.
And I'll tell you again, stop your investigation. There's no need to waste your time up there. I've searched it thoroughly enough.
Just because you haven't managed to find anything doesn't mean I won't. Got a feeling I'm gonna get lucky up there.
Now you listen to me. Oh, what the hell? It's no use talking to you. Do whatever you like. I'll be on my way.
Hold it, Frank.
What is it?
What did you and Max talk about in here?
It was nothing important. We just took the opportunity to do a spot of complaining.
Did Dylan come up during the conversation at all?
It seems she was already aware of him leaving, but she's got no idea that he's with Niall.
I see.
Anyway, I must be going.
Frank gets all hot under the collar when the subject of the 4th floor comes up. Tony.
Yo! Didn't think you and an old man Raver would be the sort of to sitting down together for drinks.
Yeah, well, we have things to discuss.
Hey, you're not trying to keep secrets from me now, are you?
And why would I want to do that?
No reason, I guess. Anyway, I need to tell you something, Hyde.
Tell me what?
It's about Betty. Don't know how to explain it, but it seems I've been given a second chance.
You don't say.
She told me that she thinks I've changed, for the better too. She wants to stick with me from now on.
Sounds like you're on to a winner there. Good job.
What I'm trying to say is that I owe it all to you, man.
To me? What the hell did I do?
If you hadn't been around, I would have been stuck drowning my sorrows, going nowhere. And and then how would I have gotten with Betty? I owe you, man, seriously.
Tony,
Before you say anything, I want to find a way to show my gratitude. Anything you want, consider it done. Just say the word.
Easy, Tony. You don't want to start making promises you can't keep now, do you?
Give me a chance here, man. You don't have much time left in this old place, you know? I really don't want to leave without having the chance to pay you back. If you think of some way I can help out, just give me a shout.
Okay, I'll think on it. Say, Tony, are you still short of cash?
I had a feeling you'd ask that. You really need me to answer? There's no way I'm gonna turn from rags to riches overnight, you know?
What if I told you I knew a way to make big bucks in next to no time?
I'd say you'd better tell me what you have in mind.
So you're interested?
Just tell me what the deal is first.
You gotta promise me you're not going to spread this around, though. The truth is, there's this precious jewel hidden somewhere on the 4th floor.
A jewel? On the 4th floor? You're talking about this place, right?
Sure I am. It's known as the Scarlet Star, and it went missing 25 years ago. I only heard about it by chance, but what I heard seems to suggest it's hidden right here in this apartment building.
Say no more, man. I'm in. Let me guess, the plan is to get the thing before we have to clear out, right?
Got it in one, Tony.
Far out.
I think it's fair to warn you, though. This could get a little dangerous. So tell me, are you still down with it?
Down like a clown, man. You think I'd pass up a chance to get in on action like this? Just tell me what you need doing. Say the word and I'll get started.
Great.
So, what are you gonna do first?
That's a good question. I guess a good starting point would be to meet up by the 4th floor fire door.
Got it. By the 4th floor fire door on the 4th floor.
We better be careful not to go there together if we're spotted.
Think people will guess we're up to something?
Yeah, the people around here get jumpy real quick.
Understood. I'll get going then. See you up there, Hyde.
Sure, I'll be up later.
10-4.
I think this is a terrible idea, and I don't know what the fuck Kyle is thinking.
Kyle, what the fuck you on about? Alright, let's get to the 4th floor then. This is also still, like, we're already close to 2 hours. These chapters are getting ludicrously long. Like, what the fuck, game? Bum ba-dum ba-da bum ba-dum. I got the fire door open, but we've got a new problem. There aren't any lights on in there, it's pitch black. Of course. Max said that the power was going to be switched off. Next problem is, even if we find a light, we don't have any keys. Yeah, I already thought about that. The only people who have access to the keys are Max and Dylan. So, if we ask Dylan, maybe he'll help us, right? What, you want to ask Dylan to try and get the keys from Max? Nah, that'd take forever. But hang on, Dylan has his own set. He uses them to get in here and look around. I think he got himself a set just for the 4th floor. Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm positive. I know because he's opened the place up for me before. Then it's settled. I'll get those keys. Tony, you need to go and get a flashlight. I'm pretty sure I saw a couple downstairs in the storage room. Leave it to me. Good luck getting those keys. Right. Okay, here goes nothing. I would already have those flashlights since forever ago if the game actually allowed me to pick them up like a reasonable thing. Anyway. Now to find those 4th floor keys. Time to snoop around in Dylan's room. Which was 30 something. 4. Oh my god. What does the guide say? Small chest of drawers at the bottom of the room. This one. There we go. There's a bunch of keys inside the drawer. This looks like what Tony was telling me about. I'm using the guide now because I really want to hurry this along. And I guess we're not going to finish this tonight because I'm getting too tired. But we're going to finish it tomorrow morning, so... morning or noon around. So look forward to that. It took you so long. So how did it go? Without a hitch, that's how. And you? Did you get the keys? Yeah. Knew you would, man. Here you go. Now I think it's about time we search the 4th floor. Ready when you are. Alright. Oh, power is running out again. There we go. This is spooky. What is this? For a 2. For a 6. We need to go in. For a 1. This is for a 6. At the left side of the bed at the bottom of the room. Hey, hide! What? Get a load of the safe. The safe, huh? Got any idea what's inside? Only one way to find out. Guess we need to take a look. That's not what I wanted to do. There's a safe with a dial up against the wall. Looks like it's been there for quite a while. Oh boy. It won't budge.
Here's the dial. Not a chance. The thing's rusted beyond repair. Not gonna move an inch. It's no good. This thing's not gonna open. Think we're gonna need some sort of tool. Maybe a crowbar will do the trick. You stay here, I'll go and grab one. Make it quick. Do you need a light? Nah man, I've got another flashlight. Be back soon. Am I really gonna find the Scarlet Star up here on the 4th floor? Okay, probably time I had to think about things so far. Chapter end while it's still in the day? Wow, alright, unusual. December 26th. While my head was full of the things Will McGrath told me last night, I was visited by somebody in the morning. It was... Dallin was the one who paid me a visit first thing in the morning. He was itching to find out what Will and I had spoken about. After calling Rachel, I caught the news about a jewelry robbery on TV. They interviewed the store owner, who described the woman that appeared on the scene. The description reminded me of Marie, so I went and had it out with her. She fled to the roof and eventually confessed to me about... She told me about her brother and husband once working for Condor. She went on to say that Niall had forced her to play the part of the mysterious woman. Also had the opportunity to talk to Rex, who came to the roof as well. He let me in on the fact that he plans to expose Niall to the world. After hearing what Maria and Rex had to say, I learned that it was none other than Nyland who had been threatening her. We had a chat and he admitted to working for Niall. His job in the apartment was... Don was placed in this building to keep an eye on Max. While he did so, he was trying to uncover clues about the Scarlet Star. When exposed him for what he was, he quickly fled from the building. Frank noticed that Dallin had vacated the building and asked me to fill him in. He told me about Niall and the connection he'd had with the LAPD. He also let slip that his goal was to expose Hugh Speck and regain his reputation. Lastly, he told me that the one who knew the location of the Scarlet Star was... Michael McGrath? Oh yeah. He told me that Michael knew the whereabouts of the Scarlet Star. He also said that he was sure that Michael had left behind some sort of clue. Thanks to Frank, I now know more about the Scarlet Star. I also learned that Niall was the organization behind Condor, and that Max was connected to it all. After talking to Tyler and Frank, I headed to Mag's room. I was keen on finding a so-called clue that Michael had left behind, and with Frank's help luring Max away, I was able to search her. Unfortunately, my search proved fruitless and I never found what I was looking for. Instead, I found a key which had a Condor mark on it. Instead of handing the key to Frank, I kept it. Tony and Ida made our way to the 4th floor to take a look around. There's little doubt left in my mind that there are clues to be found here. But will it reveal the clues that Michael left behind? And where is the Scarlet Star hidden? Will I find something to shed light on the truth behind the incident with my dad? With any luck, everything will come clear once I find what I'm looking for. But as I think about it, I notice an uneasy feeling creeping into my mind. Finally, Christ almighty. I don't get a save. And he's gonna get knocked out. Huh? Tony? Yep. Saw that one coming a mile away. Alright, next time we see what the fuck happened to Kyle. He's probably dead and cut into a million pieces by Dylan, and then he flushed it down with his superior plumbing skills. Anyway, for now though, I need to leave you on this cliffhanger because I am way too tired and don't want to take on another 2 hours or more for the last chapter. So, better be ready tomorrow morning
to see the conclusion of Lost Window, Secret of Hotel Cape West, as it is called. Thanks once again for joining me, and yeah, toodaloo.